Do girls that you talk to regularly not talk back, so it's like you're just talking to a wall?
So a little over a year ago, one of my friends sent me some links to a few animated videos on YouTube he found funny.
Alright, so I know we were just in the car for 20 minutes and I had ample opportunity to tell you this then, but now that we are on a leisurely stroll from the car to the casino, in full earshot of everyone, I will disclose to you the secrets. So anyway, the whole operation is run by Tony Luzzi. Who's there? Must have been my imagination.
I checked them out and found a liking to the weird and unique animation style, as well as the quite absurd humor referring to old video game mechanics. In fact, I liked the videos so much I started digging into this YouTube channel called Joel Haver to see what other videos I could find, and over a span of a few weeks I started learning about this young American oddball guy who seemed to spend most of his time making shorts.
Wow, isn't movies amazing?
Playful little short videos that were either live action or animated, playing out some kind of scene or idea in the form of a skit or comically relieving scenario.
So the first thing I do is I snipe him from up here, and like cat and mouse he hide behind box.
Sir, there's a chandelier like right above you.
Yeah, what about it?
As I watched more and more of Joel Haver's clever and entertaining shorts, I came across some videos in a longer format. I guess these are feature films, I thought, but there's a whole bunch of them. These can't really be any good, was another thought that occurred. I dived right into watching one of them titled Pretend That You Love Me. An interesting title, was another thought that appeared in response to the composition of words I had just read. But as I began chewing on the 1 hour and 33-minute long runtime of this YouTube feature film, my thoughts slowly calmed down as I experienced this unique and rather mind-boggling homemade feature film. In my ears as a cinephile or movie lover, filmgoer, whatever you want to call it, I've never seen a film quite like this. And I was immediately touched by how personal and raw this film was. It was like if a YouTuber vlogger decided to spend a year shooting a vlog during an incredible rough period of his life, and instead of filming his face handheld, he had set up cinematic camera angles, exposing the horrors of his experience every other vlogger would be inclined to hide, if not potentially milk, as clickbait to finesse the YouTube algorithms and suck up more ad revenue for themselves. But this is not that, obviously. As I was watching this, I felt I was monitoring the behind the scenes of a life of a stranger, like I was watching something I really wasn't supposed to see. Perhaps it was my byproduct of having seen Joel play all these different ridiculous over-the-top characters. That was such a contrast to seeing him face his insecurities and being stepped on by the cruelties of life without pretending to be anyone else than himself. Of course, it's not clear exactly what is real and what is fiction in this docu-fiction hybrid of a film, but spoiler alert, Joel's father most certainly did die, and Joel most certainly did feel pain and loneliness, and Joel most certainly honored his father in his funeral by sharing a story of him using cocaine and turn it into an inspirational tale. Yeah. But whether or not the two scenes at the end of the film is rehearsed or not is unclear. These scenes carry a genuine emotion that feels as real as it needs to emphasize the underlying theme rooted in Joel's own personal existence, making Pretend That You Love Me an absolute one-of-a-kind, truly independently made independent film. And I'm not just pretending to love this film, I truly do love this film for its honesty and originality, but also for being the milestone it is in independent cinema history. Because even though Joel Haver has voiced his strong opinion of the importance of owning his own art and only wanting to release his films directly on his YouTube channel,
John Cassavetes, who sort of grandfathered in independent filmmaking. He did it in the 50s, 60s and made movies himself, distributed them himself, and he's such an admirable figure to me. And something I always think of my own work and what I want to accomplish is I think, what would John Cassavetes do if he were alive and creating in the modern day? And I can't help but feel that same fuck the system energy would be used to put stuff online.
Not wanting to enter them into festivals and giving them a theatrical release, I still deem his films as part of cinema history. But as I've talked about in many of my previous videos, cinema is moving into a new era, and it can seem kind of uncertain what is cinema and is not cinema. Is cinema dying because cinema in its classical sense is going away? I think not. I think anything that will live on for centuries, like cinema will, has to continue to reinvent itself. And from watching Pretend That You Love Me, I learned something new about cinema. Something I found incredibly exciting and inspirational. Something that helped me define the cinematic language even better. Because even though there's little typically cinematic about Pretend That You Love Me, there's no showy, grand cinematography, immersive sound design, breathtaking visual effects, award-winning actors, genius screenwriters, big-time producers or giant budget in this film. There's no budget, there's no crew, no script, no professional actors, none of that. Yet this film stands out as so much more cinematic than so many other films I've seen. And I had to ask myself, why is that? What is really going on here? And it's as simple as emotions. Genuine emotions. We all have them. Joel was as brave to display his vulnerability for everyone to see, and that's what we latch onto. And that is so much more powerful than any other filmmaking device. Of course, there's a story, a narrative that unfolds and is knit together incredibly well. But beneath and throughout the whole thing, there's emotion true enough to move the viewer experiencing the art. And that to me was a true epiphany, that the greatest tool in cinema is emotion. A tool so great it can create art with lack of other tools we tie to the process of filmmaking. And that's how I think Joel Haver with this film taught us all that we can all be filmmakers if we want to. If we truly care and love cinema and wish to dedicate ourselves to be filmmakers, there are no limits anymore. It's all you.
You feel warm, you don't feel hot. You feel pretty warm. What?
That will help.
Okay. Well, call down if you need anything.
I will.
Alright. Love you. Yeah, love you.
And one last little message here at the end. Joel, if you by any chance ever happen to come across this video, I just want you to promise me one thing. And I know this is kind of a demand I'm coming with here. I might not have any right, but I'm just going to ask you to promise me this one thing. Now, I know you're kind of a radical independent filmmaker, and I guess putting your films into festivals, I know it's the old slow film school way, right, to become a filmmaker, but and you probably never would miss this opportunity, but if Criterion ever wants to release Pretend That You Love Me, Joel, okay? Joel, let them. It's cinema history. Truly. Pretend That You Love Me truly is cinema history. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked this. Subscribe and like if you want to see more videos like this. I'm not uploading as often these days, but I have a lot more content coming, and yeah, I'll see you around.
The whole operation is run by Tony. Did you hear something? I thought I just heard something. Must have been my imagination.